your wee mic, we'll get you sorted. Just you look at me, don't you worry about them, alright? And we'll see what we do here. So, hold on, we'll say hello to you. There we are. Hello, my love.
Hiya.
You alright? So you might need to pick that up slightly higher.
Alright.
There you go, alright. So, I feel like your wee mum is inspired, who wants to link in. And your father must be passed as well.
Yes.
Because your mum and dad both come together. But your mum is saying that she's the spokesperson between them both, alright? So just so you know. And your mummy is saying she's passed like a number of years now, you know,
yes.
she wouldn't be there like of recent years, if you get me, because she's shown me she's over like even maybe a few decades, if that's alright to say, so she's gone a long time.
20 odd.
Okay, well that's a few decades, alright, because I just know I'm going back in time with her, but I still feel, you know, it doesn't matter in timings, you still loved your mother and she meant the world to you. And so did your dad, if you don't mind me saying, but your daddy was more, your wee heart melted a bit more for him, you know, because he's coming in here like, oh, she was a wee daddy's girl, you know. And your mum, I feel, because she's the spokesperson, she feels a wee bit more bossy to him, and your father feels a lot more laid back. He wouldn't have been a very difficult man. He was a man that would have just went with the flow and was easygoing, was really mellow in his wee nature, and he didn't really let too much. If there was wee dramas and all going on around the family, he just let things go over the top of his head, because he brought a lot of calmness, and he says that you looked after him, looked after him. And am I right in saying your wee daddy goes after your mum?
Yes.
Because it feels like he outlived her, and because he was waiting to join her again, and he said he's happy that them two have met up, so just so you know it, alright?
Yes.
And I feel like he's saying to me that when he was this side of life, you cared for him in a way of, you know, like maybe picking groceries up, or doing a wee bit of cleaning. I'm not saying he was incapable, he could do all that himself, but he does feel that you helped him out in them ways too, or, you know, like signing forms and paying a few bills and just trying to keep him managed, if you get me, because he says he relied heavily on you in that way, and you didn't mind, and I feel like wherever your dad and your mum's home was, it's not far from where you live. So do you get where it's just like round the corner, or it's just 5-minute walk? Because he feels it's all again these areas. So are you from here, from Ardoy?
Yes.
That's it, because I know I just want to be round the corner. Your wee mummy and daddy are saying they are happy together. They are happy together. And your dad showed me that he had ill health. Like, he didn't go quickly, thankfully, because there was ill health there, but he was still able to be up and about, even when he wasn't doing too good, you know. He was a wee bit independent, you know, and I don't feel that he didn't take, you know, you'd be looking at him going, I just have a wee bit of a notion something's not right with him, and you were encouraging him, Daddy, I think you should go and see the doctor, or maybe we'll let you we'll go up and get tests done, or and I'm alright, I'm okay, you know, because he liked to play things down, and he showed me that when he eventually did go to the doctors, it was already like a bit too late at that stage, and he was very, very unwell then, where he maybe could have got a bit more treatment had he went sooner, but that just shows his wee independence. And he's saying that he just went, I missed my wife so much, I miss my wife, and he says, and I am delighted I'm with her again.
Alright.
You don't sound satisfied about that, now I have to be honest. Alright, well he's happy, even if you're not happy, he's happy, alright? He's happy. And he showed me, do you know if there was another woman that tried to chase after your dad? I mean it? And he remembers that. This is what he's saying. He said like there was someone else sort of in the background, you know. And he loved your mother and he's pleased to be with her, but he also remembers there was another woman that he had an interest in a loving way too. It wasn't just your mum. Are you getting me? Not revealing too much? Thank God, it's alright. Because this is what he's telling me, and he's saying that, but whoever that other lady was, like the family knew of her. I'm not saying this was somebody that was like an affair, alright, just so you know what. This was someone, but I don't feel they lived together. I feel like they still had separate houses. But because your father remembers you cared for him, and whoever that sort of lady friend was, who was more like a partner to be honest, she was good to him, and you would have seen that, and there was a contentment there. But she also had a family too, you see, and that was why your dad didn't want to They didn't want to cross them boundaries because he was happy to have his family, she was happy to have hers,
Yes.
but they were still connected together.
Yeah.
And he says he was a wee flirt and a wee charmer, and so you must remember his nature in that way.
Yeah.
Do you get
He
all of
was,
it now?
yeah.
He's saying, you feel a wee bit sorry for yourself at times. And he says, but he's around you when you have them wee moments. He says, I'm there to give you a wee pick-me-up. He says, I know you feel lonely. He says, but you don't need to feel lonely. He says, you still have me. You still have me. And he says, you talk to me out loud, Daddy, Daddy this and Daddy that. But nobody's around when you're saying it, like you'll just say it out. And he says, I'm listening to everything you're saying. And he says, he says, she doesn't talk to your mother like that, but she talks to me like that.
Yeah.
Me and you were closer, more than your mummy and you.
Yeah.
Your mummy was a wee bit tough at times, wasn't she? Absolutely. There's just this feeling of mum not always being there. I don't know, that's what comes.
Yeah.
She wasn't always there.
She
And I
wasn't
don't
there.
mean emotionally, she wasn't there physically.
Yeah.
Because she left. There's something about her leaving, and then your daddy took over.
Yeah. My daddy helped me.
I know. And your mummy's saying to you, she knows that she wasn't there for you, but she says, but I still love her. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And she says that you carried that anger and all that frustration, is maybe the right word, for a long time. I mean, you're alright with it now and you've accepted it, but sometimes you can't get your head around, how can a mummy be like that and leave us when you see the preciousness of children?
Yeah.
And it's taken you years and years to get your head around that, and your mummy wants to say to you now, but I love you and you're mine. And that's the way she sees you. Alright?
Yeah.
And I think she run off with a man, I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know if there was another man in the scene?
Don't know.
I do. I know there was.
Oh, don't know.
I'm just telling you what she said, so maybe I'll piece together some things, you know. But I don't really feel, your daddy's saying he didn't really speak about it. He
Yeah.
didn't really speak about it. He tried to, you know, when you brought it up in conversation, he tried to like sweep it under the carpet or something, or tell you wee bits, enough to satisfy you,
Yeah.
but not tell you the whole story of what happened. And then you would have went to the other family to try to find out things too, you know, over the years now.
Yeah.
Because you were curious, just curious, what really went on. Do you
Yeah.
get that?
Then I got to the stage of just didn't care.
Well, that's what I mean. And it was because it's done now.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing that your mummy's bringing that up?
Yeah.
And will you take the love of your beautiful father and your mother, even though I know you didn't have any contact and there was no real connection, but she still knows that you're her daughter.
Uh-huh.
That's what's important.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.